Hey, I'm Josef Salvat, and you're watching the AU Review.
Well, welcome back to Australia.
Thank you.
You've been spending quite a bit of time overseas.
I have been. I've been for a while.
So London.
London.
Tell me a little bit about your new home.
Well, it's actually I'm moving to Paris in like 2 months.
Oh, Paris is going to be your home. Right.
So that's going to be the new home. London's been the home for about 3 years. It's good. It's treated me really, really well. It's a completely different kettle of fish to Sydney, to Australia, and yeah, sometimes I wonder like whether I should have maybe just stayed here, just like because it would have been easier, I guess. I mean, London's so big, it's so teeming, and that's fantastic, and that's why you go there. And there's so much music every day, and there's just opportunities left, right, and center for you professionally, career wise, love life, like whatever, but also just culturally, and that's fantastic, and it's really exciting. But the flip side of that is that it wears you down. There's never respite. There's never a break. So,
and the weather's not great either.
The weather isn't great. I mean, look. I think London gets a worse rep than it should. Summers are fantastic. If a summer is good, it can be fantastic.
It can be
because the entire city goes into party mode. So it's just like 3 months of everyone's out, everyone's up for it, everyone's just drinking in the streets and stuff. It's great. It can be really fun.
That's a great atmosphere to be around.
Yeah, absolutely. And creatively, it's like quite it's stimulating. It's just it's always on. So that's great.
So is that what took you there? The creative element of it?
Well, I thought so. I thought that was what was taking me there. But whilst it is great, I think ultimately I would prefer to be here, out in the burbs somewhere, or further out. Like my parents live out in the bush. They live about 4.5 hours away from Sydney, and that's where I write best. Where there is nothing, where you just have to think, where you have to sink down. You have no choice. Like they don't even have any internet or mobile phone reception. So yeah, I thought I went over there for creative reasons, but actually I think what's great about London is it's where art and commerce kind of come to meet each other. So it's good for it's worked. I didn't really know what I was doing when I went over there. I was like, this will be exciting, and it just kind of worked. So it's good.
So tell me a little bit about then the music that ended up on the EP that we got last year.
Yeah.
Was that written in the bush, or what are the origins of those songs?
Well, they're all kind of written at different times. This Life was written in Sydney, actually, in 2012. Open Season was written in London. And Shoot and Run was written in the bush. And what's the other one? Every Night was written in London as well. Every Night was written when I just got to London. And then Open Season was written sort of whilst I was in the midst of signing record deals and all that kind of stuff, and everything just got really kind of dark for a moment, because entering any kind of label system, I guess, is a bit of a...
Daunting.
Yeah. I was going to use an expletive, but yeah, daunting's good. But particularly like the major label world, it can just. I mean, everyone tells you, and then the reality is a different matter. And I just kind of realized I'd left everyone in Australia. I'd left all those core people that you have for such a long time. So that's when I wrote Open Season. Every Night, on the flip side, just got to London, was having a great time, so I wrote Every Night because it was a really positive time then. And This Life was when I was in Sydney, and I was sort of like, I was doing this degree in Canberra, and I was sort of floating about. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I wasn't really happy doing the degree, and I was just like, this sucks. Everything sucked. And I was just about to go over to London, but I didn't know it at that point. So This Life, and then and then there's Diamonds. Diamonds is London as well. Yeah.
So it takes you through a pretty substantial period of change in your life.
Yeah, for sure.
How do you think that then moves you forward into the music that's coming next? Because if this represents that change in your life, is the music that comes next a more stability? But then you're moving to Paris, so it doesn't really seem like there is any respite from that change.
No, there isn't. And like this album, it's picking songs from the past decade. I think more than anything, what the album's going to be is it's going to be like tying up my life so far. I've been writing since I was a kid, and I just need to get, and I picked kind of like not necessarily the best songs, but like the songs that kind of hold together the best, and as a body of work. And it's just I just kind of need to close that chapter so I can start moving on to the next one. So the album's done, actually, and yeah, it is. It's about. I guess it's about change. It's about that bittersweet reality of life, which is, I guess, kind of what I've been coming to terms with for the past 10 years. And I think everybody does as you start growing up. You're like, fuck, there's responsibilities. It's difficult. It's not easy. And it never looks like what you thought it was going to look like. And so that's kind of what the album is about. And yeah, so implicit in that is change. And a whole bunch of other things as well. So, yeah.
So let's look to the year ahead. You're heading back to London, then you're moving to Paris. And what's happening after that? Releasing the record? Will you be touring the globe? What's on the cards for 2015?
So there's a tour. There's a UK and Europe tour coming up in March and April. There's just there's a song that's doing really well over in Germany and France and that kind of stuff. So there's things about that, making video clips, touring, summer festivals, all that kind of stuff. Coming up, and then gearing up to the release of the record. It's all kind of, no one tells me anything until it's confirmed. So I don't really know exactly what the year ahead holds, except that I will get an album out.
Fantastic.
Which is going to be incredible.
And how does the music, from the record, how does that translate on the stage? What's the sort of live environment that you're creating?
It's still a work in progress. That is still very much a work in progress. I mean, it's really bombastic, I think. It's really kind of big, and there's lots of different elements involved in it.
I think you're the only person other than Shaggy that I've ever heard use that word.
What, bombastic? Well, Shaggy knew where it was at.
It's ahead of the curve.
Yeah, Shaggy was very ahead of the curve. It's just big, and so that's difficult when you're trying to bring it, to like a festival. Let's say you've got, let's say you get booked for a festival. You've got a sort of an okay slot, but not a great one. You've got a 15-minute changeover between. You can't bring like a 7-piece band kind of thing. I mean, you can, and people do, but I'm not a band. I'm a solo artist, and so I have musicians on stage. I have my band that's been with me for the past year and a half, but and so it's just about picking what I want it to sound like the record. I want the songs to be recognizable. I don't want it, otherwise I just do an acoustic set on my own with a piano kind of thing. So it's about striking this middle ground. I hate track, but I have to use track. So like pre-recorded moments that are on the record. So it's just working all of that out. And the other thing is, because we've been working, me and my band have been working together now for 6, 7, 8 months. Somewhere around there. We had a month and a half rehearsals, and then we've been doing shows for about 6 months, but not that many. And so we're feeling that out as well. That relationship we're feeling out as well. So it's very much a work in progress, and it's just kind of, it also costs money. So depending on how much money I have, there's a direct correlation to what I can do. But yeah, I'm kind of, that's very much alive. That's very much living right now. The live stuff.
If you do ever perform solo, is it just you and a keyboard, or how have you done that?
It's just if preferably a piano, a real piano.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Is that how all the compositions start on a piano?
Yeah, everything starts on piano. I am trying to learn guitar. I can't play guitar. I'd really like to start writing on guitar, because you get a totally different type of song.
Of course. Yeah.
But yeah, so everything starts on piano. So I can strip it back to piano. So that's how, when it's just me, that's how I do it. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And will we get to see you live in Australia? Are there plans to get back down here?
It's definitely on the cards. Yeah. I don't know exactly when. Hopefully in the next 6 months.
We're gonna get the album out first, most likely.
Probably, yeah, or something. There
you go.
Yeah.
And best of luck with your move to Paris.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for joining us today.
Cheers. It's been a pleasure. Cheers.